Okay, everybody, this is going to be a video of some of my songwriting production process. So the idea here is I want to create a simple track, or I want to create a track to write to, and then write melody first by mumble singing and doing a potential melodic pattern just from singing and ad-libbing what a potential melody could be. So I'm going to try to record the audio as well as I can through the microphone, and then there's going to be times where I actually show you in the DAW a clearer recording, but you'll be able to see the process. My computer it's not good at recording in the DAW and the video at the same time. So some parts might sound a little wonky, but I'll do my best. So I wanted to jump in and share my screen here and show you kind of what this process might look like. So the only thing that I really sort of have in mind right now is I kind of want to do a little bit of a maybe like a pop rock country-ish type of track. Um, so I'm gonna first start off with kind of trying to come up with some drums. So I'm gonna be first looking for maybe a snare drum. I'm gonna set my key to D major. That seems to be a good key for me. Let's just pick 104 as a tempo. I've got a drum kit. This one's called Retro Rock. That might be a good one for a snare. I want to see what else we have for these producer kits. We Stadium kit. What does this sound like? And it might take a moment to load. It's thinking. My computer's older, so sometimes it likes to take its time. Here we go. I'm going to use this as the snare, but I'm going to EQ it a little bit, and I'm going to add some compression to it as well. And this is probably more complicated than any of you will be getting within your DAW, especially if you're new, but I wanted to show a realistic sort of process for me. So there's kind of a ringy sound here. I want to cut that out. Sounds pretty good. Compressor, I'm going to pull up. What a compressor does is it limits the dynamic range. So it kind of squashes the highs and the lows, and it makes it a little bit tighter. So it can add some kind of punch a little bit to it. And then this has a lot of, like, it lasts a long time, so I'm going to use a gate on this. So this is a, let me see if that's an expander. I'll use a noise gate here if it will. That sounds kind of cool. I'm going to add some room to it, some reverb, just to kind of spread it out just a little bit. And I'm just going to use a room. Let's do a dense studio. So I'm just going to record that to start here. So that's 4 bars of my snare. So I'm going to keep that, save it, just so I don't lose it, even though it auto saves. And now I'm going to do a new track of drum kit. Drum kit designer. I'm going to do multi-output. And then create. And you don't necessarily have to pick multi-output, but sometimes you can send different drums to different tracks. So this first stadium kit, this was my snare. So I'm just going to call it that. And then kick is going to be this one. And I want to find some kind of a kick that has some thump to it. Retro rock sounds kind of cool. What's the next one? And again, my computer's being slow. It's thinking. Hopefully this doesn't bore you too much. So the idea here, as it's doing its thing, is I want to create a rhythm section, right? So when you think about a band, you think there's drums, you have a drummer, you have a bass, you have probably a couple of guitars, maybe a keyboard, and then you have a singer or a few singers. So when you're thinking about production, you want to think about those parts, right? So you want to think percussion, you want to think drums, you want to think bass, you want to think mid-range instruments. So that's guitars and synthesizers, or guitars and piano. And then you have vocalists. And then you also will have effects and things like that as well. But when you're producing a track, you want to think about what would you see on a stage, and those are the parts that you would put in as a great place to start. You can add more ear candy and things as well, but so this kick, I like this kick. I want to compress it just a little bit, and I want to use more of a retro compressor to kind of add just a different kind of flavor to it. So I'm going to use a vintage VCA here. So this is, all of these are different types of compressors, and I'm going to add just a little bit of distortion, which is compression, or excuse me, saturation. So this is without it. I don't know if you'll hear it. And that's with it. It just fattens it up a little bit. And then I'm going to compress this. It adds a lot of thump. But then I wanna EQ it, because I don't know if you can hear it through the mic, but what's happening is there's a lot of like kind of rumble that I want to get rid of. I want the thump, but I don't want it to, I don't want it to sort of take over the rest of the mix, so I just EQ it a little bit. And then I'm going to use another noise gate on the kick too, to kind of, and I'm just going to do some kind of pattern here, like boom, ba-boom, boom, or boom, ka, boom, ka, boom, ka, ba-boom, ka, boom, ka, ba-boom, ka, boom, ka, ba-boom, ka. So I'll do it like this. So now I have that, and I'm going to quantize these a little bit. I'm going to add just a little bit of swing to it so it's not exactly on the grid. So we... So that's my kick and snare. Next up, I want to add another track, and I'm going to do some hi-hats. So I'm going to do the drum kit designer again. And probably just do a simple eighth notes with the hi-hat. And I don't know if these vary a lot from kit to kit, but I will see here. I'm just going to add a little bit of compressor to add some I'm going to add some distortion. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of reverb, probably not a lot. I was kind of playing that offbeat, but I was kind of wanting the snare to hit without a hi-hat on it, but I think I'm just going to do straight eighth notes. I accidentally hit a tom there, but I think it actually works. I think I like it, actually. So the beat that I have so far... Liking it, liking it. Sounds pretty good. So now that I have sort of the drums, now I have to figure out, am I going to do, like, what are the chords that I'm going to do? So I'm going to stop my share here. So now that I have my drums, my next step in this is I want to come up with some sort of little either piano or guitar riff that would kind of lead into a chord progression or some kind of chord progression that has some kind of a certain like groove or certain flow to it to kind of build the rest of the track. So we'll do that part next. So one of the things that I'm going to do now is a little kind of production trick, and that is, in order to make an electric guitar sound, you can take an acoustic guitar and you can add distortion to it to actually make it sound like an electric guitar. You can run it through an amp. So Logic has some amp, like different amp like simulators, so you can actually add it in here. So we'll go to amps and pedals, so we could go to our pedal board too and we can see what we can use. So I want to find like some cool kind of distortion to play with a little bit here. I can't really tell what all of these are. Here we go, distortion pedals. Here's a fuzz. Can we just drag it in? I don't know if I like that. What else do we got? It's this one, rock. I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit. So that's kind of, I don't know. That might be cool. Hmm. So let's see what we got here. Let's did not want to do that's so loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I'll show you this in a little bit. I kind of want to go 5, 6, 4, or actually 5, 6, 1, 5. 5, 6, 1, 5. Let's try that. I don't know if I like that. Try it. So there's a lot of decay on this. There's a lot of just like delay going on. So I'm wondering if I can cut off some of that with a noise gate. So let's. I'm just gonna leave that under. I don't know if I like that. I don't know. I'm gonna try adding another track, and this time I'm going to do a let's do a bass. So let's do an empty channel here. And I feel a little out of water by filming this process because it's trial and error, right? Like I don't know what I want to do yet. I don't know if this guitar sound is right. I almost want to change that guitar sound to a different, like if I do steel guitar, I think it might sound better. So let me see if I can do a bluesy acoustic. What does that sound like? It's thinking. So I want to add the pedal board sounds again. So I want to add some distortion, but I want to go here and see what we have here. So what is this? Vintage Drive. That might be kind of cool. Let's transpose that down an octave. I like that. I like that. I like that. Now let's see if we can find a bass. So like an electric bass. We got electric. Stinger bass, subby bass, thumb bass, ballad bass. What do we got going on here? Here's a jam pack. Here's a bass, ballad electric bass, chainsaw bass. What does this sound like? Interesting. Picked electric bass. Kind of like that. But I want to add a compressor to it. I want to make it sound fat. Want to add some thump. I don't know if we want. And to make this sound a little bit more realistic, I want to run it through a bass amp. Nah. That has some cool slap to it. I'm gonna. I like that. So I'm just gonna have this guitar and bass. All is I want to hear right now. Okay. So now we have the bass and the drums. That guitar still doesn't sound quite like I want it. That sounds cool. Oh, whoa, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. So I like that. I like that. I want to pull up another like maybe an acoustic guitar. So I'm gonna go to Music Lab and pull up real guitar, steel string. Um, and I want to add some kind of a, so we're jamming, we're going to an A to a B minor to a D to a G. So A, B minor, D, G. So it's a one, or excuse me, 5 6 1 4 5 6 1 4 5 6 1 4 5 6 1 4, and we gotta let the real guitar load. I'm gonna take a swig of Diet Mountain Dew. So what I kind of, like I said at the beginning, I kind of have an idea for like a poppy country, maybe kind of a rocky kind of sound. So yeah. So once this pulls up, I'll see what I can kind of figure out on the old. We're in the key of D. So what kind of like riff could we do? Could do a D sus2. I wonder what that would sound like with the. And what I'm doing is with this program, if you played notes up here, you can then use the bottom keys to strum. It's off beat, but I wanna let's try that. Gonna quantize it, put it into time, and then how does that sound with bass? I like that for one acoustic guitar. I like it. I like it. I like it. Um, I want to EQ some of this because it sounds a little woofy. Um, so I want to try to take out some of the different frequencies. So that's acoustic guitar 1, right? Now we're gonna go in here and we're gonna double this. And I'm gonna make this a Nashville strum, so a little bit of a different sound. I just wanna see. I'm just gonna do a little bit of experimentation here. Little strum. I don't know what that's gonna sound like. Maybe like this now. Oh yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. Oh no. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I like the tone. There's something big. I think I can do better. I think it's gotta be like 3 and 4 and that was horrible. But okay, here we go. I'm gonna try a different. Maybe I don't want to double it. Maybe I just want it stereo. Okay, I'm gonna play that. Playing that on the keys here. Just the guitars. yay. And then we shall quantize them. Okay, so now so far we have drums, we have a bass, we have guitars, we have an electric guitar, and then we have 2 acoustic tracks. The next logical thing would probably be like an organ or a piano, probably. And I also think putting some reverb on like the on the guitars, I think will add some different oops, I want to copy these. Hold on. It's not letting me do that. Why? There we go. Okay. I just want to put some add a little bit of room, you know what I mean? Maybe not that much. Not that much room. So now we have better see the time to fall it down. Makes me wonder if you tell me what I do, baby. Okay. So what do I want? Do I want like a piano? Do I want a synth sound? Do I want an organ? Something tells me synth, like a certain type of synthesizer, might actually sound kind of cool. Like maybe like here's an 80s wave synth. Maybe. No. Ooh, this might be cool. That might be cool. What does that sound like? Yes. So I'm going to quantize that. And then I'm going to stop my share for just a moment. So now that I have these different parts, I wanted to show you kind of what this thought process looks like and actually have you hear what I have so far through Zoom. So I'm just going to play the different parts on their own. So I have a snare track. Oops, my computer's not liking it. System overload. Let's see. It's overloading the system. Hold on, hold on. Okay, we're gonna try this again. So this is the snare. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. So that's the snare. Now this is the kick. Maybe. Where'd he go? It's not liking me tonight, folks. Where did my drum kit go? Try this again. There it is. Oops. Jeepers. It's not liking me tonight. Maybe the hats. Nope. There's the kick. There it is. Hats. Bass. So that's what I have so far, right? So one of the production tricks is to kind of produce first with like all of the parts that would be together within like one of the later choruses. So that's where kind of like the climax of the song is. So this is where everything is kind of happening at the same time. I think I do want to add piano sound too. And then see what you can do is then you can take away parts and like decide what you want in different sections. But if you have more than you need, it can really help you create a kind of a big, what kind of like a wall of sound, I guess one might be a good way to say it. Let's do a Yamaha Grand. Take a minute to pull her up here. That would sound like in the context of everything. I might see what that sounds like. Hold on. Okay, here we go. So there's such a delay with the zoom, but I'm going to quantize it. What's that sound like in? I don't like that. I don't like that. So maybe we just need to... Let's try that. This might be off a little bit. Okay. So now that I have this, now it's time to start like kind of ad-libbing over some of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of this and I'm going to loop it. And I am going to add a new track. Make it audio. I'm going to do input monitoring, record enable. I'm going to turn that down and I'm going to put on headphones because I want to see if I can sing to this. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Oh, the input's coming from Zoom. I'm gonna have to stop for a sec. So I'm gonna stop this recording for now. So this is part 1. I'm going to now take those tracks that I have and I'm going to ad lib and mumble sing vocals. And then in part 2, I'll show you what I do with that. So that's going to wrap up this part.